Joe, evening. How you doing? How you been? How's things? Pablo, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? How's things? Pure evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing? How's things? Hello, Miles. Hope you're well. T, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hope you're well as well. JP, good evening, Miles and all CMF. Let's go. How you doing, JP? How you been, brother? Today's an amazing day, by the way. You know, the Trump presidency, amazing. Hi, Miles of CMF. Sam, good to see you as well. How you doing, Sam? How you been? Hi, brother. Camel, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? How you been? Evening, Miles of CMF. Tor, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hello, brother Miles and family. Comatose, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Crypto Don, good to see you. Good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? I still haven't replied back to your message on the direct message. I had to reply back to him. Apologies about that. I'll reply back to him tonight. How you doing? Hi, Miles and CMF family. Hope everyone is doing well. Ronnie, good to see you as well. How you doing, Ronnie? How you been? How are you doing, Miles? I'm doing great. Niels, how you doing? How you been? Good evening, Miles and CMF. Free Feather, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Ian, good evening, Miles and family. Good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hi, Miles. Happy Trump Day. Let's go, Artistic. Definitely happy Trump Day. Let's go. Good evening, brother Miles and the rest of the CMF family. Funky brother, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Hi, Miles and CMF. Dennis, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Brother Miles, lift all up tonight. Lift you up tonight. No problem. Hello, Miles. Rachel, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been, Rachel? Brother Miles, Dale, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? Did you buy some Trump tokens? Lol. No, I didn't buy any Trump tokens or any Melina tokens or the other one. So everybody thought it was just Trump token that got launched. It was Trump token, Melina token, and Cuba also released their own meme coin, which went south very quick. Cuba's parliamentary system essentially released a meme coin, and then they got banned on X apparently because they dumped on everybody who bought Cuba's meme coin. It was actually officially launched by Cuba. But yeah, there's a few meme coins flying about, and apparently Mark Cuban is also thinking about launching his own meme coin. Morning, Miles and CMF. Shelly, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Brother Miles, good to see you again. Ferris, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Long time. I'm doing great. It's been a great day over here in the US. How you doing? Good. Yeah, the US, I mean, right now, I mean, it's the best country to pretty much live in. You know, if you live in America, you are very, very lucky. Remember that. Especially now with Trump's presidency, Trump, the president of the United States. You're a very lucky person if you live inside the United States right now. Greetings, Miles and CMF. The Ray, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? No problem, Miles. Has the World Economic Forum meeting started, and have you been watching it? It hasn't started yet. They're doing some Davos Web3 seminars right now going on with a few crypto projects, but the main speech is no. Trump needs to fly out. When he flies out to Davos, then we know it's officially started, and essentially the World Economic Forums. Good evening, Miles and CMF. Orphan, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? You look like Bruce Willis. I'll take that as a compliment. I like Bruce Willis. He's a good actor. Die Hard. I mean, it's a classic. So, great film. Miles, I make 1.1 million from Trump's token. Which coin I put in? Pepe? Definitely not Pepe. You want to spread that across legitimate financial projects. No, not financial advice in any sort of way, but through the X's. Hi, Miles of CMF. George, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? And congrats on making a great amount of money from Trump's token. Stormy, good to see you. How you doing? Hi, Miles of CMF. So, today's a great day, to be fairly honest. You know, Trump presidency, Gary Gensler resigns, CFTC resigns, FDIC chairman resigns. So today is an amazing day for the crypto space, to be fairly honest. Also an amazing day for every single American citizen. But why would people buy meme tokens when Utility One is about to take off? I agree. 100%. Good evening, Miles, and all CMF. I hope everyone is well. Adi, good to see you. How you doing, Adi? And Ferris, I agree with you 100%. Right now is not the time to be focused on meme coins. Meme coins are a massive distraction right now going into rules and regulations. You want to be focused on legitimate projects. How much? So before I read any more comments, let's do the intro of the live, and then we'll go straight back to the comment section. And then we go into the news. There's a lot of news to discuss today because of Trump's presidency. So before we go through this, welcome to the CMF Live if you're watching this for the first time ever. The CMF stands for Crypto Miles Family. And you can tune into this live Monday to Friday, 11:25 p.m. UK time onwards, essentially. And my name is Miles. I go by the persona Crypto Miles. I'm the host of this live Monday to Friday. And I talk about the most recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, politics, regulations. So vital information for you to know about regarding the world transforming completely into a digital space. So if you don't want to be left behind from this digital world we're heading towards, especially now for Trump presidency, the regulations coming through, you want to tune into this live pretty much Monday to Friday. And the disclaimer of this live, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. And we also do Q&As on this live as well, which means if you do have any questions, put it outside the comment section. We're more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Now, I just want to also take a second to say thank you so much to everybody who's liked this live, because I'm getting notifications on here. Right now, just notification came through, says liked by Shelly J. Thank you so much to everybody who's liking this live right now on X. Thanks so much to everybody who's put a comment on the video outside of the live as well. And thank you so much to everybody who's liking each other's comments and retweeting this live on X. And thanks so much to everyone on YouTube who's watching right now who's also liked the video and put a comment outside the video as well. This is the best way to, essentially CMF to grow this fund and to grow this live. To like, retweet, and like each other's comments. Greetings, Miles and CMF. Good to see you as well, Lena. How you doing? How you been? Let's go, Ray. How you doing? How you been? How much XRP is good amount? Is 20,000 enough? Because my friend Jimbo has 20,000 coins. Tell me if it's good. 20,000. If you have 20,000 worth of XRP, it's a great amount to have in your portfolio. Off to Las Vegas next Monday. Can't wait to go to the USA. If I win big in the casino, I'm not returning to the UK. Fair enough, Pure. I mean, right now, I would rather, be living in the US as well. Honestly, if I could, I would live in the US right now, especially under a Trump presidency. But I can't, unfortunately. I live in the UK. But if I could, I would definitely live under a Trump presidency. I'll be honest, every country needs a Trump. But unfortunately, there's only one of Trump. But I totally understand why you want to do that. Go there and stay there. I will too. Even Miles and essentially CMF. Jason, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? So let me give you a breakdown of what we're going to be talking essentially through on tonight's live. Hello, Miles and CMF. Scott, good to see you. How you doing? How you been, brother? So let me give you a breakdown of what we're going to essentially talk about on tonight's live. We're going to be talking about the SEC change of ownership, for example, how SEC Gary Gensler is out and his temporary replacement is in. Then we're going to be talking about essentially Circle's CEO's perspective. Now, the Circle CEO has came out and essentially started stating things that Trump should get rid of to help and boost the crypto space. Then we're going to be talking about essentially the ESMA, which is essentially the European Securities and Markets Authority, so equivalent of an SEC essentially inside the EU, where they're talking about how the MiCA compliant stablecoins and so on, how everybody has to become compliant right now in the EU because we're moving towards heavy regulations, and if you're not compliant, all exchanges must delist you no matter what. Then we're going to be talking about essentially the person that's replacing Rostam Benham. If you're wondering who the hell is Rostam Benham, he is essentially the chairman of the CFTC, who's also resigned today with Gary Gensler. Now, he obviously needs a replacement as well, and there is a replacement for the CFTC chairman, and she is pro-crypto. Then we're also going to be talking about tonight's live regarding another perspective coming in from Circle CEO as well, on Trump ordering to boost the crypto space. Now, we all saw the massive speech Trump made. If you didn't watch it, go and watch it. It was a very good speech that Trump made. The moment he was announcing, essentially, he put his hand on the Bible, made the announcement that he is the president, and then he made this big speech. Now, most people were wondering, why didn't Trump mention anything about crypto? There's probably reasons behind of why he didn't mention crypto, but we all know that he is pro-crypto, because if you're still wondering, is Trump really pro-crypto because he didn't mention crypto? He is. If you really think about it, Gary Gensler resigned because of Trump. Trump is pro-crypto, as you can see. CFTC chairman resigned because of Trump. FDIC chairman who was stifling banks to essentially not to work with crypto companies inside the US, the chairman of the FDIC, resigned. It's all because of Trump. So if anybody's still wondering, why didn't Trump make a big speech about crypto and his big, essentially, announcements on live news? He doesn't really have to make that big speech. We already know he's pro-crypto. We know he's passing regulations. We know Gary Gensler resigned because of Trump. All the anti-crypto behavior has went away. So if you wonder to yourself, is Trump really pro-crypto? He is. There are signs to prove that. Now, we're also going to be talking about tonight's live regarding the US Senate pushing for essentially clear crypto regulations to boost the innovation space, essentially inside the crypto space. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live regarding XRP, Solana, Doge, and USDC, and Cardano. Once we get to that news, I'll tell you what I mean by that. We're also going to be talking about tonight's live regarding JP Morgan. JP Morgan's analysts have came out with a new perspective on the market space for cryptocurrencies. We're going to go through that on tonight's live as well. We're also going to be talking about Ripple on tonight's live, and a little bit more later on, Ripple again. Now, before essentially, but Ripple in 2025, in other words, this year, what is Ripple going to achieve this year? So, before we go for any of those news topics, just want to say once again, welcome to the CMF Live if you're watching this for the first time ever. This is, by the way, episode 245 of the CMF Live. This is episode 245. Amazing. Honestly, that we're on episode 245 right now. Now, before we go through the first news, which is relatable to the SEC, Gary Gensler left. Who's replacing him for the time being? Before we go through that, let's go quickly inside the comment section, and then we go straight to the first news, and then comments, news, back and forwards. Now, let's see what's inside in the comment section first. And as I said previously, this is a live. This is live right now. So if you do have any questions, put it down inside the comment section. Be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. So let's see. I'm so jealous of Americans right now. They have Trump while we are stuck with, honestly. In the UK, we're stuck with the Keir Starmer right now. It's not really ideal situation inside the UK. My fraud, Jimbo, even Miles and CMF peeps, good to see you. How you doing, Semper? How you been? My friend Jimbo says 20,000 XRP is not a good amount. Is he worth for futures? 20,000 XRP is a great amount if somebody has that in their, inside their portfolios. Good evening, Miles. How you doing? Kali, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Semper, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Manny says, evening, Miles on CMF. Good to see you, Manny. How you doing? How you been? Scott, so let's go with the wave. Why market dump today? I think moon now after Trump. It's slowly starting to pick up. Hello, Miles. Thank God Trump is president. I agree, 1,000,000%. Let's go, Richard. How you doing? How comes the markets not pumped as much today as Trump is in, and XRP especially? Well, slowly, the market is starting to turn on the upside, but it's because the market was essentially the crypto market was expecting, Trump to come out and say, something massively positive about crypto or have some sort of a paragraph in his speech about crypto, but it didn't. And then people assumed, Trump is not going to be looking after the crypto space, so the markets didn't move as much. But essentially, Trump is pro-crypto. People need to remember that he is pro-crypto. The reason why Gary Gensler left is because of Trump. The reason why the CFTC chairman left is because of Trump. All the anti-crypto behavior, all the anti-crypto chairmen, commissioners, executives, they're all left. Every single one of them left today. Everybody that was anti-crypto left. The only person that's left still that is anti-crypto is Senator Elizabeth Warren. She's the only person left that is still anti-crypto. Everybody else around her is replaced and left. And it's all because of Trump. So he is pro-crypto. Nothing has changed. But people were expecting him to come out and say, something positive about crypto. But to be fairly honest, Trump he did mention a lot of things, but he is also signing 200 essentially signings today. One of those is crypto. So even if he didn't mention it, he is still pro-crypto. He is signing executive order for crypto as well. There are some priorities there. He's hired a new SEC chairman who's pro-crypto, which, by the way, made a speech today. And the crypto essentially, crypto's Caesar. So the people that Trump chose for his crypto administration, he did a speech today where he talked about the the stifleness essentially on the crypto space in America and so on has come to an end, and innovation is going to start in blockchain inside the United States. And he's basically the replacement for SEC Chairman Gary Gensler. So he is pro-crypto, but the markets were expecting Trump to come out and say something. But you got to remember, America was standing on its last leg, to be fairly honest. The US was standing on its last leg because of what Sleepy Joe and Biden's essentially administration of freak shows did. So Trump was making a very important speech about how he's going to put the country back on route before it does anything else. And also stating the facts, which are the obvious. Essentially, there's only two genders and so on and so on. But, you know, he did make a big speech. And there's a lot of things America needs to do to get back on track as well. But he is pro-crypto. So the markets were expecting something. They didn't get that speech, so they didn't react. 1.1 million pesos, not $1 million. I make what's up, brother Miles and CMF? Billo, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? How are you, CMF? I'm doing great, Billo. How you doing? Who is UD's acting chair of SEC? So Mark is the acting chairman of the SEC now. He's the temporary replacement until the new SEC chairman comes in. He gets approved essentially from Congress, which they're going to approve anyways. But Mark, who's now replacing Gary Gensler, is extremely pro-crypto. He's always been essentially pro-crypto alongside Hester Pierce, who's the other SEC commissioner. Technically, Mark and Hester Pierce are both taking the ranks of running the SEC for temporary basis until their replacement comes through as the new chairman. Any XRP news? What's coming days, weeks, months? Yes, we're going to go towards the end of the live on the XRP news. 245 episode. Let's go. I'm an OG. Congratulations. Let's go, Scott. Miles, what about XRP not being available to retailers any longer? That's just rumors. It's not essentially in any sort of a way factual information. So if anybody out there is still saying that XRP is not supposed to be sold to the retail section or XRP something along those lines, it's just rumors, not factual information. Miles, what are you saying about a general finance? Debo, how you doing? Nothing, to be fairly honest. I don't know what their recent developments or contracts or if they have any sort of licensings. Put a comment outside the video. I'll take a look into the project for you and then just reply back to your comment, no problem. Trump train, let's go, Semper. Did you hear Vivek Ramsey's no longer with Doge? Perhaps too many cooks in the kitchen, maybe. Finally, Gary the Gangster is gone. Gary the Gangster is gone, yeah. Miles, what can XDC do in the bull run and beyond? You think is big players, as Crypto Hawk says, it's 80,000 per coin. You know, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but opinions are not correct and facts are facts. XDC is an incredible project, no doubt about it. XDC, incredible project, incredible feature ahead of itself. In terms of price points, let's see what happens. But in general, it's an incredible project. It's going to reach very high prices, even in my opinion. Doing my happy dance today. Let's go, happy Pisces. Good to see you. How you doing? 90% of crypto influencers are bullish. Doesn't that mean that this will be the opposite and a black swan is coming? It's an interesting perspective to have, Billo. I'll be fairly honest. Your perspective is on the basis of 90% of crypto influencers are bullish, so that means the opposite is going to happen. Not really, no. There's a reason why a lot of people are bullish right now. It's because we're going to be having a lot of things that we've never had before, which is the banking system in the US being a part of the crypto space and having regulations and a new SEC chairman who isn't trying to attack every crypto company on the planet. So there's a lot of positiveness going around on why people should be positive about what's about to essentially be coming forward. So you can maybe base it on, you know, maybe the opposite is going to happen, but it's more on the side of we're going to get a lot of things we've never had inside the crypto space. For one, banks coming in. 2, regulations coming in. 3, America, the biggest market space on the planet, is about to become the capital of cryptocurrencies. And 4, the rest of the world is going to follow their footsteps. So there's a lot of positiveness going around right now, which the crypto space isn't reacting to as much as it should be. All facts. Let's go, Ray. Miles, what do you think about John? I already said that. Black Swan is a dream. It's not a dream. It can be real. It can be real. Yes, that's true. It's an outcome to consider. Vivek today, 8 hours ago, a new dawn with a picture of... Doing good, brother. I'm very busy, but not like you. Let's go, Billo. Is dream, bro. I think focus on by Elon. So I can't see that rumor being correct about Vivek. Interesting. Shelly, thank you so much for looking into that. What about Elon doing the salutes? Aren't they all weird liars? Yes, a lot of people saw Elon Musk do a salute, which some people thought it was relatable to some person in Germany, which I'm not going to be mentioning his name, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. There's a man in Germany a long time ago that did very weird salutes, and people are referencing that Elon Musk made the same salute as the person that was a long time ago in Germany. Elon Musk was not making that salute in any sort of a way. Elon Musk was making apparently some Romans essentially salute. He grabbed his heart and he said, "My heart is with you all," and then moved his hand up. It was taken out of context. He did not mean the German action. He just meant it as, "My heart is with the people," and then he raised his hand up. So that was just really taken out of context. People, not everything is a conspiracy or a rabbit hole. Yes, there is a lot of conspiracies out there that some do end up being true. There's a lot of rabbit holes out there that are very interesting rabbit holes that go down, essentially. But Elon Musk saying to the people that were in front of him, "My heart is with you," and then moving his hand up. He grabbed his heart, by the way, when he said, "My heart is with you," and then he raised his hand up. That's not what the German man did back in the day. It's completely taken out of context. Not everything is a conspiracy or a rabbit hole. A lot of people need to relax about that matter. And if you're wondering, is Elon Musk with the German man? Elon Musk is with Israel. So he's not with the German man. He supports Israel. So give it a rest, people. You're right, Miles. Trump has give big signs of that he's pro-crypto. The crypto is a very big topic to speech, but US have too many serious problems to speak to mention about them. However, Trump listed many of them, and his speech was uniting the country. I agree 100%. There's a lot of things that America needs to fix right now, and Trump is the man to do it. So that big speech he made was needed, essentially, to unite the United States together. I agree 100%. Executive orders being signed right now, which is true. Yes, there's a lot of executive orders right now being signed, and one of them is crypto, according to Forbes, according to a CEO of essentially Circle, according to a lot of CEOs, to be fairly honest. And what prices you think XDC can reach with perspective in dollar? Quite high, actually. When will the regulations out, and when do you think adoption will start? And will it start this year? Will adoption start this year? Well, if we get regulations as soon as possible in, then adoption can pretty much start straight after, slowly. Not overnight, but slowly, it will start essentially. Think of it as a train leaving a station. Scott was shaking. Oh, no. The American cost of living and withdrawal of Paris rubbish. This is the golden day for us. Yeah, honestly, the best place right now is the US. Honestly, if you're an American citizen, you're living in the best country on this planet right now because of a Trump presidency. You've got to know how lucky you are. There's a lot of Americans right now who hate Trump. Makes no sense whatsoever. You're in fact very, very lucky, but it's a little weird. Hey, any news about the crypto reserves yet? And what price will XRP be in 3 years after the ETFs? The price of XRP after 3 years, it could be sitting in 2-3 digits, 4 years, in 4 digits as well. It just depends on the reg. Look, let me make this very clear. For XRP, essentially, to do what it needs to do, 3 things need to happen. It's very clear. 3 things need to happen. 1, the first green light XRP needs is the case needs to go away. The case for Ripple versus SEC needs to be dismissed or settled. That's the first green light. Second green light, regulations need to be in place. Why does regulations matter when it comes to XRP? Well, due to the business ethics, essentially Ripple is trying to outline, XRP wants to operate inside the banking field. Banks need regulations, otherwise they'll operate in gray areas. So the second green light XRP needs essentially is regulations to be in place. And the third green light is pretty much adoption. Case settled or dismissed, regulations, adoption. That's the 3 green lights XRP needs. After that, the sky's the limit. Miles, regarding XDC, wondering if Trump will find a US-based project to help with trade finance Or do you see XDC at part with price of XRP, such a global reach of utility? XDC is an incredible project, no doubt about it, and it will do incredibly well under regulations, even in the US, because it is also part of some testing that the Bank of International Settlements did through off recorder, essentially XDC. Yeah, I do see it, par on par, but no way. XRP will still be above, but I do see it doing incredibly well for itself, no doubt about it. Freedom of speech, most importantly, is back inside the US. Freedom of speech, something that was gone completely in the US. Don't say that here. It would be great to find a lovely American man so I can get married and move there with ease and get out of this crazy socialist country. Yeah, because Happy Pies is in Canada. If anybody wants to go on a date, Happy Pies is inside the comment section. She's looking for an American citizenship. She's Canadian. And when will the case over? Someone says it will be direct over when Trump is at office. Is this true? Somebody's saying essentially that the Ripple case will be, over the moment Trump is in office. Trump is already in office, and that is not true. The case still has to go through some sort of legal procedures, but now it can be dismissed or settled. And I'm very, very doubtful that the new SEC chairman or the replacement temporary chairman is going to be essentially escalating the Ripple case any further. This is going to be a settlement or a dismissal. If I'm not mistaken, I'm guessing that Ripple's CEO is already having conversations with the new SEC temporary chairman, Mark, to dismiss or settle this case. Because there's no point of Mark continuing this case. Gary Gensler's out, and Mark is pro-crypto, the temporary SEC chairman. Brad and Stu were at the inauguration. Yes, they were. That's facts. Let's go, Stormy. Evening, Miles and CMF. Pure, good to see you. How you doing? Evening. So, on the topic of the SEC, leadership changes at the SEC. Obviously, Gary Gensler's out. Mark is the temporary replacement, although the actual, essentially, SEC member comes in. I live in Canada, and I own 530 XRP and 1,300 HBAR. What will that be worth in 3 years in US dollars, roughly? A lot. A lot. Under the regulations, on the adoption, you're going to have a lot of money. More money than you can count. Not financial advice in this sort of a way. Is it possible it will be months before case ends? Is it possible that it'll be months before the case ends? It's possible, but it's more likely that they will end within a month. I'll get married at Happy Prices for 20,000 XRP. Okay, let's go to the first news. The first news, leadership changes at the SEC. Mark is the new replacement until the new SEC chairman comes in because Gary Gensler is out. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission SEC member Mark will be acting chair of the financial regulators as of January 20th, which is essentially today. Following the announcement from the Trump administration, notices from the White House President Donald Trump said Mark would replace outgoing SEC chairman Gary Gensler in an acting capacity, essentially until the U.S. Senate could confirm one of his nominees. Mark, a Republican, has served at the SEC since 2022 after being essentially nominated by former U.S. President Joe Biden. Before taking office, Trump announced on social media that he planned to nominate former SEC Commissioner Paul Atkins to replace Gary Gensler. Paul Atkins' name essentially appeared on the list of subcommittee appointees Trump said he had nominated to the Senate. It's unclear whether the chamber could consider his nomination as an SEC member. As an SEC member, Mark right now is essentially criticized the commission's approach to digital assets under Gary Gensler. As you can see, the replacement for Gary Gensler, who is a temporary replacement, Mark is a pro-crypto person. He was always against Gary Gensler's movements, and he's happy that Gary Gensler's gone. And then, as you can see yourself, as the SEC member, Mark essentially criticized the commission's approach to digital assets under Gary Gensler, claiming that it neither facilitated capital formation nor protects investors, which is true. Gary Gensler was not protecting crypto investors in any sort of a way. I don't know, to be honest, what he was doing as the SEC chairman. The SEC filed several enforcement actions against US-based crypto firms under the former chairman, including Ripple case, Coinbase case, Terraform Labs, Binance, Kraken, Crypto.com. There's a lot of cases had the SEC. It's unclear what the status of these lawsuits will be under the Trump administration or acting chairman Mark. The SEC will reportedly consider freezing all enforcement cases that didn't involve allegations of fraud. So, as you can clearly see, Mark is going to be freezing, which means dismissal or settling all the essentially SEC cases that don't include allegations of fraud. The Ripple case has no fraud behavior inside of it whatsoever, so therefore it's going to get dismissed or settled. Since talking to the Oath Office at essentially 12 p.m. Eastern Time, Trump has not mentioned digital assets or blockchain on his first official day as U.S. president. He also pledged to comment on the sentence of Silk Road founder Ross as well. Roberts essentially reports suggested that Trump was planning on signing an executive order potentially related to crypto, but the White House had not announced anything at that time of publication. Neither digital assets nor blockchain appeared on the administration's list of policy priorities as they were essentially published on January 20th. Again, if you're still wondering, is Trump really pro-crypto? He is. Gary Gensler left. CFTC chairman left, FDIC chairman left. These are all people that are stifling crypto up to a certain extent. It's all because of Trump. But Mark, who's replacing essentially SEC chairman Gary Gensler, is pro-crypto. Mark was always against Gary Gensler's movements, while Mark worked in the SEC alongside Gary Gensler, and he's going to be, freezing all cases, either dismissal or settlements. Now, Circle CEO. A lot of CEOs have came out today and given different perspectives on how they think things are going to be playing out now. Trump is in power. Circle CEO comes out and strongly in favor of Trump removing the SAB 121 Act. Circle CEO Jeremy essentially believes that the United States President Donald Trump could soon sign an executive order making it easier for banks to own digital assets, which is the number one regulation we need for projects like XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, and so on to, thrive under. Speaking to the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland, earlier, Jeremy said he expects President Trump's pro-crypto orders to be issued immediately, but didn't specify when. Jeremy is especially concerned about the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC Staff Accounting Bulletin SAB 121, a controversial framework that effectively prevents financial institutions from holding crypto on their balance sheets. Although the U.S. House of Representatives voted on the overturn of the SAB 121, the resolution will later be vetoed by President Joe Biden, but no longer Joe Biden is in control anymore. At that time, Biden said, "My administration will not support measures that jeopardize the well-being of consumers and investors," was what essentially Sleepy Joe said at that time. But now Sleepy Joe is no longer in control, and neither is essentially his Biden administration of circus freaks, or they are all out, which is great to see. And Trump is in, which is also amazing. But as Retainers essentially reported, Jeremy and other crypto executives believe the SAB 121 isn't intended to protect investors, but instead is to stifle the adoption of new technology in the US. The SAB 121 effectively made it productive for banks and financial institutions and corporations even to hold crypto assets on their balance sheets, which was wrong in the first place. That's something I think essentially to watch closely in terms of executive orders. For all the Europhobia essentially surrounding Trump's crypto plans, the president made no mentions of digital assets during his speech, and the 40-minute speech focused largely on immigration and tariffs, with Trump essentially introducing his proposal for External Revenue Service, a plan to collect tariffs from essentially foreign sources. Crypto markets experienced heavy volatility throughout the day, with Bitcoin hitting an all-time high above $109,000 before essentially Trump's coming in. And the cryptocurrency has since corrected lower and was last seen trading down 2% at $103 and $300. Now, as Cointelegraph reported, the ETFs, and the ETPs attracted $2.2 billion in inflows last week, largely in anticipation of Trump taking office. Roughly $1.9 billion of the total flowed into Bitcoin ETPs. And so far this year, Bitcoin funds have attracted $2.7 billion in net inflows, according to CoinShares data. Again, if you're still wondering why Trump didn't make essentially any sort of speeches about crypto, because there's a lot of things happening in the US right now, okay? The US was genuinely standing on its last leg. A lot of people like to be blind and not say that, because a lot of people assume the US was, moving heavy-footed and strong under a Biden administration. In reality, it wasn't. The US was standing on its last leg. So the big, essentially, speech that Trump made, it was needed. It did unite the country. And there's a lot of things that he needs to fix inside the US. And crypto is one of them. But there's a lot of things that need to be fixed inside the US. There's a reason why this man is signing 200 executive orders in one day. That is how messed up the US was under a Biden administration of circus freaks. That the next president in line had to sign 200 executive orders on the first day. That just shows that the US was standing on its last leg with that Biden administration, where the next president has to sign 200 executive orders on day one. Now, moving on, essentially from Circle CEO's perspective on the market space and what should be done and what he believes Trump is right now signing, to the European Securities and Markets, essentially, Authority, which is an equivalent SEC in the EU. Now, the EU is obviously moving at a rapid pace as well towards crypto regulations right now. And, the EU has some concerns about Trump coming in because they're thinking about they're going to be paying more tariffs. But think of it this way. The EU no longer has to send billions of dollars to Ukraine. Instead, they can pay the US what they owe them. Now, before actually we go into the next news, let's go to the comment section first, and then we'll go straight into the EU news, which is also relatable to the US and the crypto space. Let's go to the comment section first. As I said previously, this is a live, this is live right now. If you do have any questions, put it down in the comment section. Be more than happy to answer the questions you may have. So let's go to the comment section first, and then we go straight into the EU news, which is also related to the US and the crypto space. Let's see where we were at. Do you have a job? Yes. When do you expect adoption to start? Straight after regulations. When will the Senate put out, a little bit after essential regulations, when will the Senate put our boys on the board roughly? Within a month, they should do it. Look, the first 100 days are going to be the most crucial days for Trump's presidency. A lot of things are going to get done. But within a month or so, first quarter, we should be seeing movements. First to second quarter. Is holding XRP and HBAR on Wealth Simple be safe if I live in Canada? No. Okay. Here's a top tip. If you're somebody that's holding crypto assets, you might want to get yourself a Tangent. Just being honest. If you're somebody that's holding crypto assets, you might want to get yourself a Tangent wallet, which is roughly about $60. And extremely secure, military grade secure, essentially, Tangent wallets. And if you use my name, if you want to, not being biased in any sort of way, if you want to use my name, I am sponsored by Tangent. You can use my name, Crypto Miles, in all capitals, one word, Crypto Miles. You get 10 to 20% off your Tangent wallet. So $60, you get 10 to 20% off, you're good to go. But no, get yourself a Tangent. You need to get your assets on cold storage wallets. Not financial advice in any sort of a way, but it's safer. Hi everyone, Ripple, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? How's things? Miles, respect. Let's go, Ripple. How you doing? Literally last leg though. Facts. The US was definitely on its last leg. Trump came in and saved the day. Going forward, great. But is anyone else feeling slightly that the markets didn't pump, especially with Gensler leaving, let alone Trump in? John, good to see you. How you doing? No, it's because the markets were expecting Trump to come out and say something about the crypto space, but he didn't, because he had to make a lot more other important speeches, even though the crypto space is very important. But America was standing on its last leg, and Trump needed to make the speech he did. To be fairly honest, he needed to make the speech. The speech he did. We got a new president. Let's go, Jim. Wealth Simple Canada, the CRA sees my XRP and HBAR over relations. Why? Miles. So you're saying XDC is a big player, but does this mean it can outperform most coins, including XRP? Maybe, but they're all in the same field. Miles, you said we were on our last leg. It was more like we were on the ground taking our final breath. Trump swooped in to save us through the grace of God. Yeah, 100%. I'll be honest. But when do you think we will have regulations? First quarter. First to second quarter regulations will be in. Crypto hoaxes XDC will be bigger than XLM. Everybody's entitled to an opinion, but opinions are not correct. Facts are facts. But XDC, no doubt about it, is an incredible project. I mean, XDC is incredible. Incredible. It has a very amazing future ahead of itself. And if you hold XDC, honestly, you have a great future ahead of yourself as well. Number one again, brother. Let's go, Jim. USA is definitely number one right now, 100%. Now, good day, Miles. Mike, good to see you as well, brother. How you doing? How's your vacation, if you're still on vacation? Now, ESMA, the European Securities and Markets Authority, ESMA, the equivalent of the SEC in the EU. They made some announcements today as well, because Trump came in and they know what's going to happen next, which is essentially America become the capital of cryptocurrencies. The EU made some important, essentially, announcements today as well. They got stiff. The EU essentially is calling for restrictions on non-compliant MiCA, essentially stablecoins and other assets. Now, we know for a fact that the EU is against the USDT because USDT is not compliant. But the EU has taken another step forward and said, look, if you're not compliant, you're not supposed to be listed, full stop. Because there are some exchanges that are still trying to list USDT and other crypto projects that are not compliant in the EU, and the EU has had enough. Today made an announcement. The European Securities and Markets Authority, ESMA, has urged firms to limit the use of stablecoins that fail to comply with the EU's new markets in crypto assets and regulations. In a statement released, ESMA emphasized the need for crypto asset service providers to take immediate action regarding non-compliant stablecoins or non-compliant in general when it comes to some crypto assets, also known as asset reference tokens. While the authority did not specify which issuers or stablecoins were non-compliant, the focus was on ensuring adherence to MiCA standards. The ESMA highlighted the role of national competent authorities in guiding, essentially, the CSAPs to align with the MiCA requirements. The regulations prohibit the issuance of stablecoins by entities not authorized under the MiCA, and issuers must have some sort of licensing in the EU and any other third-party offerings of ARTs or electronic money tokens, EMTs licensings, and must secure written consent from the issuer to be available in the EU for purchase. The EU is getting very strict on the crypto space, but it's because now we're going towards heavy regulations. The ESMA stated that the NCAs should enforce compliance as soon as possible, with a final deadline of Q1. The EU is going to go very strict on regulations, and it's going to be Q1 of this year. The first quarter of this year, the EU is going to get stricter and stricter and stricter on regulations. By Q2 of this year, the EU is going to be very strict on the crypto space, but not in a bad way, not like Gary Gensler way, but regulations way, where it's regulated and regulations brings money to the table from institutions. This provision aims to enable EU investors to liquidate or convert holdings in non-compliant stablecoins or any other sort of assets. The SMA essentially directive suggests that the Tether's USDT, the largest stablecoin by market cap, does not meet MiCA requirements, and there should still be no exchanges listing it whatsoever in the EU. Tether does not have a license, stated Juan, essentially, of the MiCA Crypto Alliance, and indicated the CSAPs might need to delist USDT and with complete removal, including sell-only options, and also reached out to ESMA and Tether for clarification, but has yet to receive a response. Tether is going to become a sell-only token by March in the EU. So if you're somebody that's still holding USDT in the EU, by March 31st, Tether is just going to be sell-only. You're not allowed to hold it anymore or use it to buy other tokens. It's sell-only to not a stablecoin. The EU is getting very strict, but it's only because they want to bring some institutional money to the table, and they can't do that if it's a very volatile space and it looks like the Wild West. Now, moving off the EU, and another reason, the only reason why they're getting very strict is because Trump wants to make America the capital of cryptocurrencies, which is leading the EU to make this very bold and aggressive speech. But again, not in a bad way like Gary Gensler, but in a way to bring regulations, to bring institutional money to the table. Now, Moving off the EU, essentially, to the CFTC. Now, the CFTC also had a chairman by the name of Rostam Benham. Now, everybody knows Gary Gensler because he was #1 public enemy for the crypto space. But the CFTC chairman was 50-50, you could say. Sometimes the CFTC chairman, Rostam Benham, was good, and sometimes he didn't take action, and sometimes he was a bit negative for the crypto space. Either way, this man decided to withdraw himself as the chairman today as well. And the CFTC and the new CFTC chairman, who's taking his place, who is pro-crypto, by the way, is Caroline. Caroline Pham is the new CFTC chairman for the time being. Appointed as acting CFTC chairman by President Trump today. President Donald Trump has reportedly picked Republican Commissioner Caroline Pham to serve as the acting chair of the Commodities Futures and Trading Commission, CFTC essentially, and is reported by Fox Business today. Pham's appointee follows the exit of the former chairman, Rostam Benham, a Democrat who said he would step down from the chair role by January 20th, which he did, before exiting the agency by February 7th. With Benham essentially officially stepping down, Bloomberg reported that 5 members of the CFTC voted to make Pham the acting chair. The appointing essentially of Pham, even in acting essentially capacity, has been essentially welcomed with excitement inside the crypto space. This is likely due to Pham's attendances at the pro-crypto regulators calling for regulatory clarity for the industry, including proposing a regulatory sandbox for crypto companies to test products. So even the new CFTC chairman, temporary chairman, is also pro-crypto. The new SEC chairman, Mark, who's temporarily still there, is very pro-crypto. She's very pro-crypto. Pham, appointed essentially as the SEC commissioner by former President Joe Biden in 2021, served on the staff of the CFTC and worked at Citibank before becoming CFTC commissioner. Following her appointment, several stakeholders inside the crypto sector have highlighted her openness to engaging with crypto companies. Uniswap Labs CEO, for example, Adams, congratulated her on her appointment and noting that is an important role because most tokens or commodities, and Adams quoted Pham's post from 2022 showing her tour of Uniswap. He wrote, Caroline was early to learning about DeFi and wrote a fantastic, essentially, essay in some sort of a way in our CFTC settlements, important roles as most tokens are commodities. I think she'll be a great leader for the essentially CFTC, said Uniswap CEO. And interestingly, during the 2022 tour, Pham also visited several other crypto companies in the US, including Ripple. The new CFTC chairman, Pham, is very pro-crypto. She's visited pro-crypto. Essentially, she's visited US crypto companies. And one of those companies Pham visited was Ripple. And she's now the new CFTC chairman. With Pham essentially selected to serve as the acting capacity, she will occupy the CFTC role, chairman, until Trump announces a permanent chair and the Senate confirms the appointment. Interestingly, Pham is one of the names in the running to become the CFTC chairman, so she can turn from temporarily CFTC chairman to actual CFTC chairman. Others, such as a senior Republican commissioner at the CFTC, Summer, for example, current at the 16Z crypto head of policies, and former CFTC Commissioner Brian are also in the running for the new CFTC chairmanship. However, even in acting capacity, Pham appointments suggest that she might be a top choice for the permanent positions. This would not come as a surprise and aligns with essentially Trump's commitments to appoint a pro-crypto expert to head regulatory agencies that might have dealings with digital asset industries. And the CFTC is one of the leading regulators for crypto, and many stakeholders favor the agency because they consider cryptocurrencies commodities rather than securities. And also on that topic, Trump is going to be putting more power in the hands of the CFTC than the SEC, because even Trump believes that crypto is basically a commodity, not a security. Therefore, he's giving more power to the CFTC this time around than he is giving it to the SEC. Either way, the SEC is now pro-crypto because the person that's in charge of the SEC, Mark right now, and Hester Pierce next to him running the show, they're both pro-crypto. New CFTC chairman, pro-crypto. She's had sit-downs with pro-crypto companies. You know, for example, Ripple. She had a sit down with Ripple, for example. So people right now who are in charge, they've all replaced the anti-crypto people. Once again, if you're wondering why Trump didn't make any speeches or why Trump is not, you know, is Trump still pro-crypto? Yes. The only reason Trump gave the green light to Pam is because she's pro-crypto. The only reason Trump gave a green light to essentially Mark is because he's pro-crypto as well. As temporary loop, essentially. Now, bringing it back to the CEO of Circle, because he's made another speech as well, which is regarding boosting crypto under Trump. It's a perspective coming in from the CEO of Circle. But before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. As I said previously, this is live right now. So if you do have any questions, put it outside the comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer the questions you may have. So let's see what's going to start the comment section first, and then we go straight into the next news, which is regarding Circle's CEO talking about Trump and how he's going to boost the crypto markets in America. But before we go through that, let's go inside the comment section first. Let's see what's going on there. Let's see what's going on in there. So in 3 months, okay, XRP or XDC, which one will go higher? Which one is going to go higher, XRP or XDC? XRP, no doubt about it. But XDC will also go incredibly high. Incredible project. So in 3 months, we will have regulations, most likely adoption start. Yes. I thought it will be retreating by Friday. I thought he'd be retiring by Friday. But we can have it also within 3 months. We can also have it within 3 months. Crypto, why is he saying 80,000 per token is the biggest number? Well, everyone is entitled to an opinion, but opinion is not correct and facts are facts, so everybody can say whatever they want. You see Kamala's face during the whole inauguration looked like someone paid her in Cheerios. She wasn't amused. It's true. Anybody saw? If you did see it, good for you, because I saw it as well. It was incredible to watch, where Trump, essentially came on the stage, behind the microphone and gave his bold speech of how he's going to fix America. And every single thing Trump pointed out, that was wrong with America and needed to be fixed, and he's going to be the one to fix it, was every single thing that the two morons that was sitting on the left-hand side of Trump, Biden, essentially, and OnlyFans Kamala Harris, did to America. The OnlyFans chick next to Sleepy Joe, Kamala Harris, and the Biden administration pretty much ruined America. So Trump's entire speech was how he's going to literally undo everything those two morons did. And those two morons were sitting down while everybody else was standing up and clapping. Literally, everyone, every time essentially Trump finished saying one paragraph, everybody in the audience and everybody around Trump stood up and started to clap because he's fixing America. He's saying things we wanted to say for a long time. So, but anyway, he was saying things that he wants to undo from the previous administration. And the two morons, Sleepy Joe and OnlyFans Kamala Harris, was still sitting down, not clapping any sort of way. But it was amusing to watch. It was very amusing to watch. He destroyed them, to be fairly honest. Trump came onto that stage and destroyed Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Everything, and I mean everything, Joe Biden touched or looked at or signed is getting undone. Because everything Joe Biden did ruined America. And Trump basically said he's going to undo everything they ruined. So that was the reason why they didn't stand up and clap. I'm still on holidays, thanks. Let's go, Mike. Enjoy that vacation, brother. America just guaranteed itself another 100+ years as the world currency. Facts. America did. The US dollar was getting weakened and so on. And it was because BRICS was trying to catch up and replace the US dollars, which some people were cheering for that, by the way. Bit odd. Especially Americans who were happy about BRICS. That never made any sense to me, because if BRICS did well, for example, let's just assume if BRICS did well, then that means the US dollar will eventually crash. If the US dollar's crashed, you are living inside the US. So the Americans that were cheering BRICS never made sense to me. You were cheering for the competitor of your currency to win and for the currency that you're holding in America to crash, which means your economies would have crashed, which means it was complete devastation. And it was the ramifications that would have caused would be horrendous. And there were people cheering for BRICS, which never made sense, honestly. Because if you had any sort of brain cells, you'd realize BRICS wasn't, what you should be cheering for, especially if you live in the US. And I always said for the longest time, BRICS is never going to work out. I said, what country do you know, basically in this planet, that, likes to give up power? There's not a single country on this planet that likes to give up power. It's all about power, greed, and who can get more of what. But this is why I always said BRICS is never going to work. And China's, broke as hell. China's pretending to have money. They have no money left in their pot. None. China's on the verge of a real estate collapse. And if Trump's plan is to put tariffs on China, yeah, China's definitely not going to be surviving for too long. And then Russia is also going to collapse alongside China because Russia is holding a huge amount of Chinese yuan. And that's not going to really end well, because if China collapses, Russia is holding a huge stockpile of Chinese yuan. Yeah, that's going to end very bad for Russia as well. But in general, I've also said this in the past as well. A lot of people assumed if BRICS does well, XRP does well. Incorrect. With BRICS or without BRICS, it doesn't really matter. XRP is still going to do very well. No matter what, if BRICS exist or if BRICS didn't exist, XRP was still going to do very well. Can I order a secure crypto wallet on Amazon? Hell no. Never in your lifetime order a cold storage wallet on Amazon. Never do that to yourself. On eBay or Amazon, never buy it from Best Buy, never buy it from anywhere. Only from the source itself. Only from the website itself. Direct message me. I'll send you the Tangent website so you can buy it from Tangent directly. On X, just direct message you on X. America has just guaranteed itself 100 plus years as the world comes. Yes, 100% yes. Honestly, it definitely has. If I miss buying XDC cheap, I blame you, Miles. XDC is still cheap. Miles, one man named Da Vinci. He first says XRP is stablecoin. Now he says XRP will be $24. Why are he doing this? Well, because as I said previously, everybody's entitled to an opinion, but opinions are not correct on facts or facts. If you're going to chase opinions all day long, you're never going to reach very far. But if you start chasing, essentially the paperwork, you'll essentially make it further alongside. What is your thoughts? And by paperwork, I mean PDF documentations and contracts and licensings and seeing who's part of the few, what they're trying to build. Do they have any licenses? Are they going to benefit on the regulations? And so on. What's your thoughts on Trump coin and Melina coin? No. I'll be honest. It's distraction. Look, the only way Solana was going to survive was meme coins. Look, Solana brings nothing to the table. And I mean genuinely nothing to the table except meme coins. Yeah, it's the only thing Solana brings to the table. It's meme coins. Because we can't say, well, Solana is cheaper, essentially, on transactions than Ethereum. Because it really isn't. You see, Solana for the longest time was known as what? The Ethereum killer was Solana's title. Solana's faster, it's cheaper than Ethereum. It's the next big thing, which was what Solana's slogan was, the Ethereum killer. Solana's transactions, in terms of fees, through the roof. And in terms of speed, well, if the payment goes through, maybe it could be fast on transactions. But unfortunately, Solana has difficulty on processing transactions. And by the way, the crypto space is this big. The crypto space is this big, and the world market is this big. So this is the world market. This is genuinely the world market, and this is the crypto space. And Solana is struggling beyond belief. Imagine we go to this stage. Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to be able to process a transaction on Solana. But look, Solana's, only attempt to stay alive and be relevant is to produce as many meme coins as it possibly can. So, you know, Donald Trump creating meme coins on Solano's chain was him throwing a bone to Solano, because Solano is, you know, standing on his last leg as well, to be fairly honest. Solano's crashed 11 times. The last time it crashed was 4 hours. You couldn't process a transaction for 4 hours, which is pathetic. Because if Solano crashed once, I would say, okay, it crashed once, you know, they'll fix it, it'll never happen again. But they crashed the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, the 10th time, the 11th time. You get the picture. And each crash was hours where nobody can process any payments. So, I mean, at one stage, you just got to go, okay, maybe this isn't the chain that's supposed to be changing everything. And these are not, you know, me, you know, essentially trying to diss Solano or anybody who is on Solano, or anybody who is building on Solano. I'm not trying to be rude in any sort of way. I'm just stating facts. I gave up on Solano a while ago when I tried to process a transaction and it wouldn't go through. It was frustrating me that a transaction wouldn't go through. Back-to-back failed. I just thought, you know what, I'm done with this chain. Just got to a stage where I said, you know what, I'm done with this chain. I can't do this back and forward of pressing a button, hoping the transaction goes through. Because if that's the future, if something like Solano is the future, I'm okay. I'll stick with the banking system. Because at least if I make a transfer on the banking system, the payment goes through. But on Solano, it's like, you know, you have to hope and pray if it goes through on the transaction. So that's definitely not the future. But basically, Trump essentially creating a meme coin on Solano was him throwing a bone to Solano. Because the moment we go into regulations, projects that essentially matter in regulations are going to do better. XRP will do a lot more better on the regulations. XLM will do well. Cardano will do well. HBAR will do well. XDC will do well. AVAX will do well. TON will do well because they're establishing new essentially headquarters in America apparently. But a lot of crypto projects will do incredibly well. Ethereum will actually do well, surprisingly. Ethereum will do very well because Ethereum, the ETFs that Ethereum had were very bad. The only thing that Ethereum brought to the table was staking capabilities, and the SEC took that away from them. Gary Gensler said you can have an Ethereum ETF, but you can't have staking. And that was bad for Ethereum. That's the reason why Ethereum ETFs never took off in Wall Street, because nobody saw the point of Ethereum in Wall Street. Everybody saw Bitcoin because in Wall Street, because a Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin is limited. So that's the selling point. You know, that was the selling point of Bitcoin. It was limited when it turned into an ETF. There's only 21 million tokens. But then when Ethereum ETF came out, nobody saw the point on Wall Street. They thought, you know, Ethereum is bringing nothing to the table. But now, with a new president, there's going to be a lot of refilings on the Ethereum ETFs, and they're all going to be adding staking capabilities. And when Ethereum ETFs have staking capabilities, then it's a different ballgame. And by the way, I'm not saying if essentially Solano is going to go away in any sort of a way. Solano is still going to exist, but it's going to be a very trash chain. And again, I'm stating the facts here. Honestly. So, you know, people can maybe say, oh, well, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to Solano or something like that. But let's just state the facts. It's slow, it's expensive, and it can't process transactions. Those are facts, not opinions. So basically the whole, you know, Solano meme coins, Trump and Melina coin was basically from Solano and bone. So how would the payouts for Tangerine referral program with the removal of Tether be? Most likely they're going to put in USDC. But I'm not in the EU either. I'm in the UK. So Alex Costa saying he buys XRP now before he says he used XRP is rubbish. Yeah, a lot of people used to say XRP is rubbish, but now they're saying XRP is great. I said XRP is great day one, and I continue saying it's great until now and forever. XRP is the best asset there is. A lot of people missed out on XRP when it was 40 cents and 20 cents and 11 cents. Exactly. Is Miles, how much more Trump can sign us. He is pro-crypto. CFTC chairman also just gone. Facts. Absolutely facts. Is Trump going to take over Canada? What's it looking like? Is Trump going to be taking over Canada? It's a possibility. I'll be honest. If it came down to a vote, I think most Canadians will vote to go under Trump, because Canada's not doing too well either. And the only reason Canada even essentially can stand on its own legs is because the US keeps on feeding them billions of dollars every year. If the US stops feeding Canada billions of dollars every year, Canada won't be able to stand on its two legs. And Justin Trudeau knew that, hence why he left. But if it came down to a vote for Canadian citizens to become another state in America, I think they would vote to join the US. And that result will surprise a lot of people, but it wouldn't surprise me. Hi from Malaysia. Good to see you, Shakira. Good to see you. How you doing? Did you notice the whole Trump family looked elegant and so respectful? Same with Vance, wife and the young children were very lovely. True. Did you notice Obama was not with Michelle? Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, Obama was not with Michelle, not Michael, Michelle. Thanks, Miles. You're incredible. Let's go, Ripple. I don't know what's worse, living in a socialist country or dealing with the weather. It's minus 15 Celsius. I've shoveled 4 to 7 inches of snow. Wow. Wow. Is it safe to contact Tangent support? Yes, but do it through the app. Do it through the Tangent app. Or, yeah, if you want, or you can do it through Tangent through X Spaces. No, X Spaces, X in general. Patricia, if you want, I can direct message you. Just do it through the app. Do it through the app. Do it through Tangent app. What's your thoughts on selling XRP this cycle? What's my thoughts on selling XRP this cycle? Worst idea possible. Look, I've said this and I'll say it again. Look, if you want to sell your asset, if you want to sell an asset like XRP, it's up to you. It is your money. It's whatever you can do with it. You know, it's up to you at the end of the day. Personally, I'm not going to be selling my XRP because there's still a lot of things left that needs to be done. The case needs to be dismissed and settled. Regulations need to be coming in. It needs to get adapted by a banking system and so on. There's a lot of things in progress. And XRP is not an asset that I would ever sell. I've always said this. I am never, ever, since day one I've said this, I am never, ever selling my XRP. I'm never selling my XRP. The only thing I will ever do with my XRP is borrow against it and use it as collateral. And the money that I get, if I borrow against it using a bank, or if I borrow against it, for example, HSBC Bank is looking into, offering these types of loans. But wherever I borrow it from, I'm going to be using my XRP as collateral. I'm going to be using the money that I get from the bank or the platform that I borrow from as the best ROI I can find, which in most cases will be real estate, because I do come from a background of real estate construction, company. But yeah, I'll be using for real estate and so on, and I'll pay back the loan, and I'll never get taxed. That's the best part about it. The beauty of this is I will never ever get taxed on my XRP because I will always be using as collateral and always borrowing against it. And you can't get taxed on debt. So which means you can pretty much live in any country you want, even if it's a country with high tax, and just borrow against your crypto assets, use them as collateral, and never pay tax. Some people will say, move to Dubai, or move to Saudi Arabia, or move to Monaco, or whatever, for that tax-free lifestyle in crypto. You could stay wherever you are. If you live in the US, the UK, Canada, the EU, you can stay wherever you are. You don't have to move to Dubai. Just borrow against your crypto assets. Use them as collateral. Obviously, pay back the money you borrowed. Otherwise, your assets that you put down as collateral will be gone. But just borrow against crypto assets, use them as collateral, skip on tax. You don't get taxed on debt. And you can do that by living, essentially, you can do that by living in the country you're living in and by sitting on your couch in your living room. Borrow against crypto assets. Not financial advice in any sort of way. Not financial advice in any sort of a way. What advice is only for entertainment purposes. but that's just personal preference. I am never, ever selling my XRP. I've said this since day one, and I'm saying it until the day I take my last breath. I'm never selling my XRP. Thanks, Miles. You're incredible. Let's go, Ripple. Hi, Miles and CMF. Peg, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? Thanks for your response, Miles. No problem, Ripple, anytime. But if anybody else wants to sell any of their assets, it's your money, it's your assets, it's your cryptos. If you want to take profits, take profits. It's never a bad idea. Do whatever you want. It's your money, it's your crypto. That's just what I'm doing. What is funny about all these influencers that are turning about XRP? They are still saying XRP 24 this bull run. One of them even said the next bull run 2029 will be big numbers for XRP. No more bull runs, bear markets is over. Facts, it is. A lot of people assume that we're still going to be moving in the same cycles, which is the funny part inside the crypto space. Look, the moment we get regulations, the moment we actually get regulations, and I don't mean, one or two regulations for stable coins. No, I mean regulations. We get banking regulations. The SAB 121 gets removed, and we get actual banking regulations for the crypto space, where banks and essentially crypto assets and crypto companies can come together and work together. Different ballgame. Complete different ballgame. This whole cycle of, everybody follows Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin goes up, feeds into the essentially Ethereum, and Ethereum feeds into the altcoins, and then, this cycle that we've been living in for the longest time, this cycle is going to come to an end the moment the regulations come through this year. Because, first of all, everything's changed the moment ETFs got introduced. Because who's going to sell their Bitcoin ETFs to feed into altcoins? Not a single person on Wall Street is going to be selling off their Bitcoin ETFs to feed into altcoins. So that cycle stopped the moment that happened. But it's going to completely stop the moment the regulations come in. Because then you will see a lot of crypto projects detaching themselves from Bitcoin. And you can already see that as well. When Bitcoin is in the red, what's in the green? XRP. What's also in the green? XLM. What's also in the green? HBAR. What's also in the green? XDC. What's also in the green? ADA. Do you see a pattern? It's the financial projects. They're making movements. Well, XRP, XLM, and XDC are making movements in those financials, and so is HBAR. But you can already see the detaching happening slowly. The more we go into regulations, the more crypto projects are going to detach themselves from Bitcoin. Everybody assumes, like the Bitcoin maxis, for example, they will never tell you this. The Bitcoin maxis will hate this. But they know it's coming true slowly. Because the Bitcoin maxis go on the assumption that, we're going to be following, everything will follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin will stay number one. Everyone is going to follow Bitcoin for eternity. Wrong. Because regulations means adoption. You got to remember, crypto is not stocks. Every crypto token has a utility pretty much. And then once that utility starts kicking in, they're going to detach themselves from Bitcoin. And that whole cycle of everybody follows Bitcoin's footsteps will come to a stop. Will genuinely come to a stop. And it's going to be this year, essentially, the more we go into regulations this year. But already we've seen that change. The first change was the ETFs. We've had a lot of things we've never had before. And we're going to get a lot more things entering the crypto space we've never had before, which is going to cause more of a gap between a lot of crypto projects. Because, for example, XRP being adapted into the banking scene, all the contracts that XRP did, all the contracts that Ripple did, with Ripple SPI, for example, or any other contracts that they do have in place. They have 1,200 contracts in place, essentially, according to their own filings with the SEC. And all those contracts and developments and partnerships and so on, they're going to get activated one by one, or a few at a time. And the more of essentially that happens, the more the adoption happens for certain crypto projects, the more they're going to be detaching themselves from Bitcoin. Because if you have a crypto project that's now going to be operating 24/7 for the banking field, for example, then Bitcoin doesn't have the same contracts in play. So how can it be, essentially this crypto project will forever follow Bitcoin's footsteps? If XRP gets adapted into the banking fields under the regulations, then how can XRP follow Bitcoin's footsteps for eternity? Because Bitcoin doesn't have the same contracts in place. Same goes with Cardano, essentially. Same goes with HBAR. They're all going to be detaching themselves from Bitcoin. This whole, everybody will follow Bitcoin's footsteps for eternity. It's not going to last forever. And it's going to come to an end this year. This year is going to come to an end. And also bear markets won't affect certain crypto projects the more we go into regulations. Because if there's a crypto project that's being used, again, by the banking field as a medium of payments 24/7, let's just assume XRP, XLM, XDC, they're being used by the banking system 24/7. And we go for a bear market inside the crypto space. Well, how's a bear market going to affect a crypto project that's being used 24/7 to do domestic and international payments? This cycle that we're living inside the crypto space that we've lived in for a very long time is coming to an end. But Bitcoin maxis will never tell you that. Bitcoin maxis want you to believe that, the crypto space will be following Bitcoin's footsteps for eternity. But if you just apply a little bit of common sense and a little bit of logic, it isn't. It's not going to be following Bitcoin for eternity. It just isn't. It's just not possible. Regulations equals adoption. And if a crypto token is adapted into whatever field it may be, if a crypto token is adapted in data, then it's going to be used for data purposes, domestic and international, 24/7. If a crypto project is adapted for Web3, same scenario. If a crypto project is adapted into the banking field in terms of finance and transactions, then it's going to be used 24/7 by the banking fields. So how could it follow if the footsteps of Bitcoin? You just wouldn't be able to. And also bear markets weren't affected either. We're going into a different ball game. Grayscale said this as well. Grayscale said, their analysts said, that we're going into a different ball game the more we go towards regulations. Standard Chartered Bank also said the more we go into regulations, it's a different ball game. JP Morgan's analyst, Nicholas, also said different ball game. We're in a different ball game. And the more we go towards regulations, the more crypto tokens get adapted for domestic or international use, the more they're going to be detaching themselves from Bitcoin. And the less a bear market is going to affect them if they're being used 24/7 in terms of domestic and international basis. That is the truth. But the Bitcoin maxis, they want to tell you, no, everything will follow Bitcoin for eternity. It's just not possible. It's not stocks. You've got to remember this. This is not stocks. This is crypto. Tokens have a purpose. It's not just buy and sell and quick profits. Let's see. But yeah, no more, this whole scenario of the footsteps. They just follow the hype for views. Yeah, they do. I'm down on, so I agree with you, Camel. I'm down on my ICP. I've given up hope about this coin. What do you think to me selling this at the loss? You never want to sell any crypto project at a loss. But I said a long time ago, for me, ICP is not a must-have crypto project. ICP was never a must-have crypto project for me in any sort of way. I said this to you a long time ago, Ronnie, as well, when you asked me. You asked me about ICP a while ago, a long time ago, and I said to you that it's not a must-have crypto project in any sort of a way, and you should focus more. A long time ago, I said you should focus more on XRP, XLM, XTC, and HBAR, because they will do the best on the regulations. But now you stuck with ICP. I'm putting the money into something else, or if I hold and get my money back on ICP. You can hold and try to get your money back on ICP, or you can just, call your loss and spread whatever's left in XDC, for example, or XRP or XLM or HBAR. It's up to you. If you think it can revive itself, ICP can revive itself on the regulations, then wait for it to revive itself. If you think there's no point, let me just, say my loss and go to essentially another crypto project like XRP, XLM, XDC, or HBAR or so on, then go for it. Not financial advice in any sort of way. Canada, USA, done deal already. Who wants to go fishing in the Gulf of America this year? That's true. Yeah, the Gulf of Mexico has been changed to Gulf of America. Panama, also the US made some investments in Panama, according to Trump. And Panama was not treating the US very nicely. And they were treating China nicely instead, which now the US is going to be getting that control back. Yeah, China is going to be fuming. Xi Jinping is not going to be having a very nice sleep tonight. I can guarantee that. Xi Jinping is going to be having nightmares about Trump in China. Because China made quite a lot of investments. China made a lot of investments in Latin America. And Trump is going to be removing all of those investments. So Xi Jinping is definitely not going to be sleeping tonight. I didn't brought below 50 cents. My plan is to move to Thailand, Miles. Ronnie, I like that plan. Why not? And it's honestly, why not, Ronnie? If you want to move to Thailand, why not? Beautiful country. Thanks, Miles. Your knowledge is out. Let's go, Ripple. Pepe coin price prediction. Pepe coin price prediction. 8 million Pepe coins worth this cycle? No. Okay. Heads up for anybody that's holding these types of coins. If you're holding Pepe coin, if you're holding Shiba, if you're holding Lunacy, if you're holding, dog with hats and whatever, any of these tokens, the only reason that these tokens did well is because they're being used for washing. Not going to get into detail, but your brain should start to click. Projects like Pepe, Shiba Inu, Dog with Hat, and so on, they're used for washing. So there's a reason why they have a lot of money pumping inside of them. It's because they're used for washing. Now, again, money's money, to be fairly honest. So there's an old British saying, money's money, land, and it's true. And that's the only reason those types of projects are existing. But those projects will need to exist because there's two types of money that spins around the world. There's the clean money that's on paper, and then there's the unclean money that is not on paper. And the unclean money will go towards projects like Shiba Inu and Pepe and Dog with Hat and so on. And then they will turn into clean money and enter legitimate crypto projects. Because there's two types of money in this world, clean and unclean. And unclean needs to go somewhere to get clean before it enters the legitimate crypto projects. So that is what those crypto projects are used for. So they are going to be around, some of them, not all of them, in any sort of way. But, for example, I personally said the only meme coins that I see surviving are, Doge will survive. Obviously, Elon Musk is standing firm behind Doge and has a big community as well. Shiba Inu will survive in my point of view because they're used for washing heavily, and Lunacy will survive as well because they're also used heavily for washing as well. If we're talking about the subject of Pepe and all that, but Pepe will probably survive as well for washing purposes. Pepe coin price prediction, but in terms of price predictions, I wouldn't be able to tell you what Pepe is going to be doing in price prediction terms. I'll be honest with you. It's a hit and miss with that one. Miles, but they can go higher because it depends on how much washing is being done. Miles, I have 4 years to live. What do I do if you have 4 years to live? I had another influencer disagree with me. Happy Pisces says. I said, with regulations, meme coin season, the end of the bull run will not exist for 99.9% of memes. So cash out now and switch memes to ISO coins. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100% what Happy Pisces said. You do really not, you don't want to be in meme coins right now, to be fairly honest. Because, look, with regulations coming in, the only projects that will do great on the regulations are projects that have licensings, that are going to be working in the corporate sector and the banking field. Those are the types of crypto projects you want to be heading towards for regulations, which is heading towards right now. Not meme coins. Because I'll be honest, going into 2025, now this year, 2025, 2026, and 2027, you don't want to be the guy who's holding Donkey Token, for example, if you know what I mean. If you're the guy that's holding Donkey token while everybody around you is holding, for example, XRP, XLM, XDC, HBOR, Cardano, AVAX, TON, or whatever, and you're the guy who's holding Donkey token, Camel token, Frog token, Cat token, and we're going into regulations. I'll be honest, you had all this time inside the crypto space to adjust yourself, make your money from memes if you wanted to, and then, pour it into legitimate crypto assets. But if you're still holding onto those tokens and we go into regulations, the only donkey in that scenario will be you holding Donkey token, while everybody else around you is holding XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, AVAX, TON, NEAR, whatever. Any legitimate crypto project. Not saying you should never hold any memes. If you want to hold memes, but hold some legitimate projects as well. Hold projects that will do great under regulations. And the financial category is number one. No doubt about it. The financial category is number one inside the crypto space. People will tell you, it's all about the D pins or the D sins or the D gens or whatever the D category they're coming up with these days. Or people will tell you, it's all about AI. AI is the number one category, or Web3 is the number one category, or data is the number one category. It's finance. Finance is the number one category. If you just use common sense, it's finance. Because the world is going digital, which means the first thing that needs to go digital is what? Money. Money needs to go digital first. And then the Web3 will go digital, essentially data will go digital, and AI and so on. AI is going to be working on the sidelines anyways. But money needs to go digital first before anything happens. Now, yes, noticed our face. Yeah, we're going Kamala's face. OnlyFans Kamala was not happy today. How I wish I knew you in 2018 when I brought Pepe, Doge, Elon, and millions. I would have brought the right crypto assets instead of meme coins. Don't worry, you know me now. And, I've put you on the right track now. But yeah, if you did know me in 2018, yeah, you would have definitely been on the right track. Now, Bitcoin will die for no, Bitcoin will survive. Bitcoin will survive. Ethereum will survive, obviously. But it's more like I agree with you. It's your words. It's more like, yeah. I have them coins also. I just put them into ICP to keep my coins spread into different projects. Fair enough. When he talked about taking back the canal, yep. I brought XDC at 2 to 3 cents, and I'm big profit already. Realistically, how much will it go up? XDC, same scenario of Ripple, except XDC doesn't have a lawsuit holding it back. XDC just needs regulations to move forwards. So same scenario as Ripple. The regulations come through slowly, so it gets adapted. Does that mean put them in the washing machine? No, that doesn't mean put them in the washing machine. Pepe for washing and XRP for CBDCs. It's all bad. Money is money and use it for good cause, yes. But with XRP, at least not criminal at my end. Fair enough. Salute Crypto Mouse. Burberry, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been? No way. Donkey token. Now, Circle's CEO made a speech. Here it is. Circle's CEO basically said, essentially Trump coming in, we're looking at a pro-America now. Now the pro-crypto America starts, is what Circle's CEO said today. Circle's CEO, USDC in other words, sees imminent Trump orders boosting crypto. Straight away, he says that Trump is going to be boosting crypto day one. Circle CEO Jeremy expects a series of executive orders from incoming President Donald Trump that could dramatically ease regulatory hurdles and boost cryptocurrency adoption. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Jeremy suggested that these orders might enable banks to trade crypto and offer it to wealthy clients and hold digital assets in their portfolios. As the issuer of USDC, the world's second largest stablecoin, Circle stands to benefit from any regulatory clarity that allows financial institutions to integrate digital assets, essentially digital assets, more freely. Pegged to the US dollar, USDC is currently ranked as the 8th largest cryptocurrency by market value. And Jeremy pointed out to the repealing essentially of the Staff 121 Act that we discussed a little bit earlier on, which he described as a major barrier for banks and corporations looking to hold crypto assets. And that's something I think to watch closely in terms of what essentially President Trump is going to be signing. Now, Congress is expected to increase its activity on digital asset regulations. Jeremy noted, predicting that a committee work on the topic would begin in the coming weeks. So according to Jeremy, CEO of Circle, USDC in other words, in the coming weeks, so the first quarter of this year, in the coming weeks, the committee is heavily working, in other words, Congress and Senate and so on, they're heavily working on crypto regulations to make America the capital of cryptocurrencies. Circle shares essentially are being traded in the secondary markets on a case-by-case basis, mainly involving early-stage essential investors and employees seeking to sell their holdings and liquidities. Circle has established a minimum valuation threshold of $5 billion for those transactions, and Circle's essential valuation has reached $9 billion in 2022 when it attempted to go public via a special purpose acquisition company deal, and that didn't really go through because Gary Gensler stopped it. However, the proposed merger was mutually essentially terminated in December 2022 due to the SEC chairman Gary Gensler, which essentially rejected any sort of crypto companies going public except Coinbase squeezed through, and then they got sued afterwards. Now, Coinbase's chief essentially policy officer as well, Shahrzad, also stated that the new SEC leadership will likely take swift action. Shahrzad suggested that such moves could bring banks more deeply into the custodial space to further advance the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So it's not just essentially Circle's CEO coming out and saying within these coming weeks, a lot of things are going to be changing in America in terms of crypto regulations, but it's also Coinbase coming out and saying the same thing, that within the coming weeks, a lot of regulations are about to be passed from the Senate and Congress and everybody else in America on regarding cryptocurrencies. And it's all positive for cryptocurrencies. Well, it's positive for crypto projects that are going to benefit from regulations coming in. All of those crypto projects that have licensings are going to benefit the most. Now, the next news we are going to be talking about, moving on essentially from that, but staying on the topic of US crypto regulations and policies, is US Senate pushes for clear crypto regulations to boost innovation. The US Senate Committee on Banking, which is the most important part we need in terms of regulations for projects like XRP, for example, or XLM or XDC. The US Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs has released its legislative priorities for its 119th Congress. Newly minted, essentially, Chairman Tim Scott, who was appointed in January 3rd, he's essentially determined to bring financial conclusion aimed gaps in crypto regulations. His agenda involves making a clean framework for locating that origins from digital resources, motivating essentially announcements and advancements, and reinforcing monetary security. The committee's plan aims to create a solid regulatory framework around cryptocurrencies that had no clear guidance in the past. However, Tim Scott essentially had harsh words for current oversight attacking the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC chairman under the essential leadership of the SEC chairman Gary Gensler, who did a terrible job, in his words, of maintaining and trying to create some innovation inside of America. To combat this trend, which Gary Gensler calls essentially, the committee will work on a framework for digital asset tradings and custody that is an oversight and gives flexibility. So as you can see, the committee is already working on this matter. The idea is to boost consumer protection and ensure that the lender is in compliance with other financial regulations, including the Bank Secrecy Act. Moreover, Scott's strategy entitles creating essentially a setting that allows the development of technological innovations like stablecoins, an example of technology whose potential essentially can widen in the financial conclusion. Scott's initiative aims to maintain its boom address dangers related to novel cryptocurrencies and defund innovation. By essentially formulating policies made to order, he seeks to encourage digital asset projects to return to the US and boost the flourishing domestic, essentially, market space. These policies are supportive of wider aims to essentially bolstering economic security and ensuring continued leadership in financial technology in the US. The committee intends to strike a balance when essentially pursuing these goals between strict oversight and promoting innovation. Scott essentially said his responsible regulation is crucial to supporting a secure and competitive digital asset sector. A clearer pathway for the industry stakeholders would reduce essentially uncertainties on economic growth will be supported. The committee, though, essentially also recognizes the risk associated with digital assets, such as fraud and misuse when it comes to crypto assets. Measures such as consumer education and protection will be used to address these challenges. The framework aims to increase essentially the trust in the digital financial ecosystem through integration of safeguards. Scott's agenda promotes innovation while retaining regulatory flexibility. He believes this approach will strengthen the US's position in the global cryptocurrency landscape. Additionally, digital assets shall be integrated into core national security frameworks to positively impact economic stability. Digital assets will be integrated into core national security frameworks. But Scott's priorities go beyond cryptocurrencies. He wants to expand financial inclusion and access to capital nationwide. The committee seeks to overcome structural problems in the financial system that prevent many Americans from accessing economic opportunities. The agenda essentially does this by promoting innovative financial products that lower barriers to and promote equality in terms of more of a usable system. Scott also plans to couple digital asset oversight with national security objectives. He believes that responsible financial technology innovation can create economic stability and solidify the US's global leadership in terms of positioning. The focus will be on essentially aligning regulations with international standards to avoid misuse and promote collaborations. As the committee essentially pushes its agenda forward, it will work with different stakeholders to achieve a consensus around solutions that work. As Scott endeavors to keep policies honest, transparent, and accountable, he attempts to make them also benefit people and businesses, something Gary Gensler failed at. They also signal an effort to create a competitive and secure financial environment. So, Tim Scott, who is essentially the US Senate Committee on Banking, decided to come out and tell the public what he's going to be doing starting now, which is connect the banking system to the crypto space. First thing he's going to be doing. Second thing he's going to be doing is essentially creating a much more accountable, essentially, movement, also educating people on crypto assets so they don't get essentially hacked or compromised in any sort of a way or get scammed in any sort of a way. But he said he's going to be doing something that Gary Gensler should have done a long time ago, which is create regulations, but he didn't. So Tim Scott, he's going to be creating the newly, by the way, Tim Scott is the new chairman who is in charge of the banking committee and so on. He is going to be essentially addressing all the concerns of crypto and banking. And he's pro, as you can tell. He is pro crypto. He said he wants to undo everything Gary Gensler did. He wants to bring in regulations. He wants to educate people in America about cryptocurrencies. He wants to connect the banking field to the crypto space. He wants to bring crypto in national security matters. He's taking crypto to a whole other level, by the way. Yeah, a lot of things are changing. Now, before we go to the next news, which is, by the way, the next news I'm going to be telling you about is about XRP, Solana, Doge, USDC, ADA, XLM, lot of crypto projects. But before I go through that, let's go to the conversation first. But as you can see, America is really turning pro-crypto. Every single person who was anti-crypto left. The only person that's still in the US that is anti-crypto is Senator Elizabeth Warren. But now she's only one person. She no longer has a team behind her. And because her team, Gary Gensler, left. FDIC chairman left. Rostam Benham, if he was behind her, left. And it's only Senator Elizabeth Warren left. And she can't do much because everybody around her is pro-crypto. And you can see that by the new chairman that was just essentially announcing he's going to be bringing regulations, something Gary Gensler should have done day one. But yeah, America's definitely changing. But again, for those people who said, who thought, why didn't Trump say anything pro-crypto? Is Trump still pro-crypto? Is Trump still going to make America, capital of crypto? Yes, he is. He didn't mention crypto in his big speech, but because there's a lot of things that he needs to fix in America, to be fairly honest. Crypto is one of them, but there's a lot of things that need to be fixed in America. But yes, this man is still crypto. Everybody who he chose is pro-crypto. And everybody who was anti-crypto left. They all resigned. So he's still pro-crypto. Nothing's changed. Just because he didn't mention crypto at a big speech doesn't mean he's anti-crypto all of a sudden. He's still pro-crypto. Actions speak louder than words. Trump could have came on stage and said, crypto this and crypto that. Or you can see what he's doing, the actions. Everybody who's anti-crypto left, got replaced by pro-crypto people. That's actions. And the old saying goes, actions speak louder than words. Well, Trump is taking action. Gary Gensler, CFTC chairman, gone. Everybody. It's just everybody's been replaced by pro-crypto. Those are actions that are taken. I read an analysis report that, let's go inside the comment section first before we go into the next news, by the way, regarding XRP. The next news is about XRP, Solana, Doge, USDC, ADA, XLM, there's a list of crypto projects. But before we go through the next news, let's go inside the comment section first. And as I said previously, this is a live, which means, this is live right now, which means you can go inside the comment section right now if you do have any questions and put it down. I read everybody's comments one by one, by the way. I shout out your name, I read out your comments, and then, I give you an answer. So let's see where I was inside the comment section. I was here. Nova, how you doing? Nova says, if banks and institutions start using XRP, would it be possible for XRP holders to lend banks their XRP and get interest for it? How can banks and institutions buy XRP affect retail investors? Okay, first part of your question. Will banks borrow your XRP to use? Depends. If you are essentially putting down your XRP as collateral, if you're borrowing against the bank and you're using your XRP as collateral, then sure, the bank may be, within the contract terms, they might be able to, use your XRP or any asset you use down as collateral. But this in reference, this question is based on XRP, so let's just stick to XRP. So if you're putting your assets down as collateral in that scenario, the bank maybe in terms of the contracts can use your assets that you've put down as collateral to trade on it or whatever. But in general, will banks borrow against you? Will banks essentially borrow your XRP? No. The chances of that happening slim, very slim. Because they will just buy it from the market space and use it essentially for themselves. So very slim chance the banks will be using your XRP to borrow against and so on. But if you put down your XRP as collateral, maybe the bank will use it in terms of trading purposes, because then, you put it down as collateral, and depending on what contract you sign with the bank. But in terms of that actually happening, very slim chance. That's just a theory that's going around inside the crypto space for the longest time on XRP, that banks will, borrow your XRP from you and pay you an interest. Not really. In any sort of a way. It's just rumors, to be fairly honest. It's not factual information in any sort of a way. I always tell people, everybody's entitled to an opinion. Every single person is entitled to an opinion. But opinions are not correct and facts are facts. Just stick to the facts. So if it's not on paper, then it's just a rumor. If it's not on paper and it's not signed by either party, then it's just a rumor. And on your second, and also because they don't need to just buy from open market space. On the second part, how can banks and institutions buying XRP affect retail investors? When banks and institutions start buying XRP due to regulations being in place, how will that affect retail investors? a lot because the price will go higher. And on the basis of, look, also you've got to understand, the higher the price of XRP goes, genuinely, the higher the price of XRP goes, the more the retail section will jump up naturally. On the basis of also, a lot of people assume, not saying you are assuming this or this is based on your question, but a lot of people also assume that, people will become, people will have suddenly $800 million, worth of XRP in their portfolio and so on. You've got to understand, the higher the price of XRP, if XRP goes to $5, a lot of people from the retail section XRP will probably jump up. XRP goes to $10, a lot of people will jump up from the retail section. And it's also on that basis that the institutions don't really, or the banking system doesn't really need to push out XRP holders. Just by raising the price, people will jump up naturally as well. But how will the banks institutions buying XRP affect retail investors? The price goes higher, which means you get tempted to sell. Which is why I said I am never ever selling my XRP. Only borrowing against it, using as collateral, and you don't get taxed on debt. No financial advice in any sort of a way. But that's how it's going to affect XRP. That's how it's going to affect retail investors. When banks and institutions buy XRP, price goes higher, you get tempted to sell as a retail section person, which is what they want, to be fairly honest. They want you to jump up naturally, which you will be. No, not saying you will, but most people will. $10 XRPs, a lot of people are jumping out $10 XRPs. Or $5 XRPs, a lot of people are jumping out. Not me, never, not a million years. Donald Trump Jr. has just tweeted a list that Wi-Fi has just put link was on the list. XRP wasn't. Donald Trump Jr. has just tweeted a list that World Liberty Financial has just put link on list. XRP wasn't. Yeah, no, we already know that. John, World Liberty Financial is on link. Yeah, we know that. They're using link for data purposes. XRP is using essentially link for data purposes as well. Yeah, we know that. That's a different thing. John, that's a different thing. You're thinking about the list of crypto projects that Donald Trump is going to approve, but you got it all wrong. That's not the list of essentially crypto projects he's approving. World Liberty Financial in general is using Chainlink for data purposes. Who is Gary? Gary Gensler, come on. How can you forget about Gary? You already are. Okay. Now I get it. Who's Gary? Good morning, sir. Marius, good to see you. How you doing? How you been? How's things, brother? Now, XRP, Solana, Doge, ADA. There's a new category on CMC. Actually, on that topic, John, there's a new category on CMC, CoinMarketCap. And that new category is called Made in America. Believe it or not, there's a new category on CMC and it's called Made in America. Now, why has CMC created a Made in America category on their app? CoinMarketCap has unveiled a new list of Made in America digital assets showcasing cryptocurrencies with American roots, headquarters and founders of US origins. So why is essentially CoinCap doing this? Why is CoinCap creating a Made in America category? Well, because we are going into regulations and Made in America matters. As per the list, major tokens like XRP, Solana, Doge, USDC by Circle, and Cardano are topping the charts while underscoring their significance in the US-based blockchain ecosystem. The Made in America category will have an impact on those coins, making them more appealing to regulators and institutional investors. It will, 100%. Because now knowing there's a Made in America category of crypto projects on CMC, obviously if institutions want to, outside the US or in the US want to know, what should be they essentially be going for, well, now there's a Made in a category to tell them which ones are made in America. There's also rumors of ongoing that these tokens can be considered for the US Street Reserves. Many are speculating that this aligns with the recent policy shifts under reportedly more pro-crypto US administrations, which could encourage broader adoption of these cryptocurrencies. Cardano's essentially reflects its alignments with American blockchain innovation. However, Ethereum, not so much. Seen as Cardano's main competitor was let off the list. Ethereum was not on the Made in America list because it really isn't. So does that mean that America is not really supporting Ethereum slowly? It's just, is this CMC giving hints out on their Made in America category? ETH suggests it is more essentially global developments compared to US-focused project lists. Obviously, for Vitalik Buterin coming out and essentially saying, obviously, it's not about US-focused. It's about world domination is what he's really going for. The spotlight on US-rooted cryptocurrencies concedes with a surge in the ETF space as well. Applications for tokens like Litecoin, XRP, and Solana ETFs are happening, further solidifying the importance of the Made in America label. There are also other major tokens like Chainlink, Avalanche, Stellar, excellent in other words, Sui, Litecoin, and many other more. This development could signal a shift in institutional and regulatory focus towards these digital assets, enhancing their adoption and market position. So if there was ever any investors now, it's the timing. It's also about the timing as well. CMC, CoinMarketCap coming out now with a list of Made in America tokens. The timing is interesting. They only did it because Trump said he's going to focus. Well, people around Trump said that essentially they're going to be focusing on, Trump is going to be focusing on Made in America crypto projects, Made in America blockchain projects. So this is why probably CMC created a Made in America category, which also investors, if they want to know which crypto projects are US based, now they know. Also international investors, if they want to know which crypto projects are US based, now they know. They don't have to really go look for them. They could just go on CMC because now there's a new whole category, Made in America. Now, moving off essentially that incredible list and the perfect timing of it to JP Morgan. Now, going away from the US just for a second, but also sticking to the US relatively, JP Morgan. JP Morgan strategies say US firms could outpace Europe in profit growth. And they could. Now, obviously, with the Trump presidency. JP Morgan Chase and Co. strategies have predicted that essentially US firms' profit levels will likely essentially overpass and surpass the European counterparts by a huge margin during these earning periods. According to Miloslav, a leading strategist at JP Morgan, the difference in profit margin may be in case of setting the bar much lower for the S&P 500 companies. Analysts for the US essentially benchmarking lowered their forecast meaningfully as they headed towards this season despite a resilient economy. On the contrary, expectations for European essentially cyclical and defensive shares were raised to more ambitious levels, who might be difficult to essentially the competing sides to meet. The situation makes Europe more risky compared to their speed of activity momentum. US stocks also have extended essentially their outperformance against international peers this year, powered by tech shares and artificial intelligence frenzies, and the economic remains of resilient, and the Federal Reserve has embarked on the interest rates and cutting cycles and the falling inflation. And last year, the performance of the US and the European markets were in line with predictions in local currencies. The stock 600 index performed essentially lower than the S&P 500 by 70 percentage points. And the second worst performance since the benchmark was created in 1998. America's stocks was driven by its robust economic growth and increased demand for tech supplies. The year 2025, this year in other words, might be different. The swearing of the President Trump into office may affect essentially the market sentiments. Investors are finding it difficult to predict how Trump's America's First policies and proposals to alter global tariffs will affect stocks in 2025. JP Morgan strategists noted that there is potential for a coverage of given the extreme positioning of US stocks and the valuation and performance gap against international peers. However, they continue to believe that more clarity on the trade and geopoliticals in terms of fronts is needed before making any conclusions. Miroslav also had a bearish view on European stocks last year, but it didn't pan out. He said the medium US analyst estimate calls for 3% growth in the fourth essentially high quarters in earnings versus this year's earlier. In Europe, the median forecast signals a 5% and 9% increase for cyclicals and defensives. Earlier trends also comes from high profiles with some recordings and essentially achievements, while others are missing the beat in the US and Europe. So far, US banks are performing well. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, and so on have all experienced gains, with their reports exceeding expectations. However, ROG essentially maker Ellie and Cole saw a serious fall on the diminishing revenues and forecast. According to Bloomberg Intelligence, the profits margins are essentially performing well at 7.7%, almost 1/10 of the S&P 500's market cap. On the contrary, Europe is already experiencing many disappointments from firms like BP and Taylor Wimpey. However, essentially some firms like Swiss luxury giant Richemont SA are performing essentially extraordinary, hitting record highs after quarterly sales. According to JP Morgan's analyst, European earnings will continue to trail behind the US in 2025 due to the challenging outlook for companies exposed to China's uneven recovery. Look, simplest way to put it. The US economy gets fixed, the world market gets fixed. If the US is strong, we are strong in the West in general. The world market in general gets stronger. Obviously, the stronger the US is, the weaker China becomes, but no one really cares about that unless you live in China. But in all fairness, we only care about, our own countries. So as the Bank of International Settlement puts it, if the US markets sneeze, the world market catches a cold. So now the opposite will be, if the American markets are strong, the world market is strong in general, but China is the only one that's downfalling. The dollar becomes strengthened, China gets weakened in terms of the Chinese yuan, and so on. But in general, the EU, if they don't get tariffs too hard, they can follow the footsteps of America, and their markets will also be fixed slowly as well. But they really need to start, applying the regulations that Trump is going to apply as well, in all aspects. But also look at it like this: the EU and a lot of other countries are complaining right now because of Trump. They're saying, Trump is coming in. Why do we have to pay so much high tariffs? If Trump actually does high tariffs on our country, it's not good for us, and so on. You know what's interesting? The EU has no problems, not a single problem, sending billions of EU taxpaying money, billions of dollars of taxpaying money to Ukraine. The EU has no problem. Germany, France, Italy, the European nation, in other words, the EU has no problem sending, with no complaints, by the way. They have zero complaints when they're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, to Zelensky, of taxpaying money. But when Trump says, we're going to increase your tariffs because you're not paying the correct amount, all of a sudden, the EU makes it a big deal. The EU goes, no, this is bad for us. You're going to put too much pressure on the EU. The EU citizens we're going to put the EU citizens on too much pressure. How can Trump be doing this to the retail section of the EU? Where was this big, bold speech when the EU was giving billions of dollars to Zelensky? They didn't care about the retail section then. All the tax-paying money from the retail section in the EU was going towards Zelensky's pocket in Ukraine. There was no issues then. But now that Trump wants, the EU to pay their fair share and, pay millions or billions, now it's a big deal. Now it's all, how can Trump do this to the retail section of the EU? The retail section of the EU is going to put on too much pressure. It's going to damage our economy. Genuinely, where was this big speech when you were giving billions of dollars to Zelensky? Because then it was okay. EU giving money to Zelensky, that's okay. Even if it's tax-paying money, that's okay. No problem. But EU paying their fair share to Trump, that's a big issue. And they try to make it look like, you know, it's bad for the retail section, as if the EU government cares about the retail section. Because if the EU government cared about the retail section, as they pretend to do, if they listen to the EU people, not a single person that has a brain cell in the EU would vote to give Zelensky a single penny. Never mind billions of dollars of taxpayer money. So this is, again, what the news is not telling you, to be fairly honest. Because the EU is coming out right now, the liberals are coming out right now and going, well, look, the people inside the EU are not going to be surviving because of Trump. No, that's all lies. The EU is comfortably sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. But when they want to pay their fair share to America, it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault people can't afford groceries in the EU now. But what was that? Honestly, where was all this big speech from the EU when they were giving money to Ukraine? Which are still giving money to Ukraine. But, you know, the liberals will always try to manipulate and twist everything. But yeah, again, the news will never tell you this. The news will never tell you this. The EU right now is coming out with so many scathing articles about Trump. The EU is coming out multiple ways about Trump. Saying, how can Trump do this? How can Trump put tariffs on the EU? What are the people of the EU going to survive on? The billions you sent to Ukraine, did you ask permission from the EU citizens to use their tax-paying money? No. But now you want to give some money to America. Oh, no, how are people going to survive? It's dumb, honestly. The way they manipulate with people, the way they brainwash people is incredible. Because there are people right now actually against Trump in the EU. There are people in the EU against Trump going, how can Trump do this to us? Trump is the reason we're going to have high-paying groceries and so on, and we're going to get taxed higher by our governments. Trump is the reason. No, he's not. Your own governments are. They're morons for sending billions to Zelensky. They're morons for starting a war with Russia. Because Russia was their source for oil. But now, do you know what the EU does? Buys it from India. Where do you think India gets their oil from? Russia. Hence why you're paying twice the price on gas prices. On fuel prices, the reason why you're paying twice as much in the EU is because you get it from India. And India gets it from Russia. But you can't buy it directly from Putin. No, that's bad. But if you buy it from India, who gets it from Putin, that's okay. It's so dumb. It's just comedy, pure comedy. Now, going on to the topic of Ripple now. The Ripple, by the way, has just essentially invested into a university in essentially Dublin, is what we're going to talk about next. And then also what Ripple is going to be doing in 2025. But before we do that, let's go to the comment section first. As I said previously, this is live, which means if you do have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Let's see what's going on in the comment section. And I read everybody's comments one by one, by the way. I don't skip around anymore. Okay, let's see. We are here, I think. I've been researching Flare, and apparently it's so much better than Chainlink as an Coral. Flare is great as well. I know one of the developers of Flare. Good project. Are you talking new? World Liberty Financial purchased Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ava, Link, TRX, ENA. I find it interesting that there is no XRP among those purchases. What's your take on this? Apologies, WBTC. My take on this of why World Liberty Financial didn't buy XRP is because it doesn't need to buy XRP. XRP needs to be purchased and used by banks and corporates. not World Liberty Financial. World Liberty Financial is just a project that's for entertainment purposes. In my point of view, it's just entertainment purposes. It's not established in any sort of way. It's not a massive organization. It's not a massive company in any sort of way. It's just a personal preference. They're not $1 billion company in any sort of way, or $1 trillion company. They're not established worldwide. They don't have essentially SBI Ripple. They don't have a World Liberty Financial SBI. You see where I'm going with this? They don't have licensings in place. It's just a random crypto project developed by random crypto essentially developers with Trump's son. That's pretty much all it is. Just one big massive distraction. So what's my take on that matter of World Liberty Financial? Why didn't it buy XRP? It doesn't really need to buy XRP. XRP needs to be purchased by banks and corporations, established organizations only, not by a crypto project that was developed by crypto influencers and Trump's son. And Trump's son didn't even develop it. He just put his name on it. So don't see, for everybody that's watching, don't see World Liberty Financial as the footsteps in any sort of a way. World Liberty Financial, developed by random crypto influencers and Trump's son's names on it. That's pretty much it. It's as useful as the meme coin that was released by Trump by throwing Solana a bone. As useful as that. They claim to be extremely useful, but in reality, they have no use case. What has use case is XRP. What has use case is XLM, XDC, Cardano, AVAX, TON, HBAR, NEAR. There's a lot of crypto projects. These are all projects that have use cases. They have actual purpose. A project like World Liberty Financial genuinely was developed by a crypto influencer and Trump's son. It's not really, corporate-ish. It's more of a gimmick. So yeah, nobody take that as a stepping stone of what's going to happen inside the crypto space in any sort of a way. He said it was to... He said, because I'm guessing everybody wants to know about that, but now you know. It's just a gimmick. World Liberty Financial is not, anything big. He said it was the community of Trump, World Liberty Financial today purchased BTC, ETH, Link, and some others. Yes, I saw. Yeah, I saw. They purchased $49 million worth of Bitcoin, I think it was, and a mixture of ETH and so on, and then the other crypto projects. Is it because of DeFi? No, it's just a gimmick, to be very honest. Will this cycle be different? Of course. Yeah, but it's still a great asset to hold. I'm just confused as to why not. Is essentially World Liberty Financial a great asset to hold? In my point of view, it's a waste of money. A great asset to hold is XRP, it's XLM, it's XDC, it's HBAR, it's AVAX, it's TON, it's Link, essentially. Not World Liberty Financial in any sort of a way. World Liberty Financial is a gimmick. That's my point of view. They have 0 contracts in place with established firms and banks and institutions. They have 0 contracts, 0 licensings in place. But again, it's a crypto project that's developed by a crypto influencer, one crypto influencer, a few crypto developers, and Trump's son. That's pretty much it. If you take away Trump's son, it's genuinely a meme coin. If you add Trump's son, it just becomes a gimmick of a crypto project. But genuinely, if you take away Trump's son from that equation, it turns into a meme coin. If you add Trump's son to that equation, it turns it into a gimmick. But yeah, no, established crypto project is that. Oh, no, I'm saying XRP is a great asset. I'm confused to why they wouldn't hold it. I know it's a gimmick. Why they're not holding XRP? So why they're not holding XRP? Well, to be fairly honest, banking sector, because they don't need to be holding XRP in most cases, to be fairly honest. Banking is all needs to hold XRP. Sorry about the water sound. It's because they don't need to be holding XRP, to be fairly honest. My personal opinion, they don't need to be holding XRP. The reason probably why they went for those crypto projects is Link is their data project. They've launched on Ava. They hold BTC because it was limited supply. They've launched on Ethereum, to be fairly honest as well. So the crypto projects they're actually holding, they're actually linked to them. Just to point this out as well. The crypto projects that they're holding is what's linked to them. So World Liberty Financial is developed on ETH. They hold Bitcoin because, well, it's Bitcoin. Ava, they're going to move on to it. Link is World Liberty Financial's data. TRX is World Liberty Financial. TRX essentially invested $1 million into World Liberty Financial. And ENA is what they're also going towards. All of the crypto projects that World Liberty Financial brought today has some sort of a link back to World Liberty Financial. Bitcoin, they're holding it because it's Bitcoin. Ethereum, because they're developed on it. Ava is what they're moving on towards. Link is what's backing their data. TRX invested $1 million in the World Liberty Financial. And ENA essentially is what they're moving towards too as well. The crypto projects that World Liberty Financial brought today are all essentially with them. The crypto projects that are attached to them in some sort of a way. TRX invested $1 million into them, so I'm guessing just repaid the favor. But Ethereum developed on it. Link is used for data purposes. ENA, they're moving on to it. Ava, they're moving on to it. So BTC, well, because it's BTC. But yeah, that's why they're holding it. That's why they're not holding XRP, because XRP has never invested into World Liberty Financial, and they're not moving on to XRP either. But yeah, the crypto projects that are holding is because they're linked back to them. Sorry for a second, I forgot that they were linked back to them. When do you think XRP will start to increase? First quarter. This case needs to get dropped, settled, or essentially dismissed first quarter. Yeah, but it's WBTC, not BTC. Hence why I said DeFi. WBTC is basically BTC. It's just wrapped BTC. WBTC means wrapped BTC. It's Bitcoin still, but it's just wrapped. It's on a different chain, so it's wrapped BTC on Ethereum for most cases, probably. Why market is dropping, but XRP is holding? Why is the market dropping, but XRP is holding? Well, because the excitement of Gary Gensler leaving is what making XRP stand a little bit on the green side, while the rest of the market is on the red side. It's the excitement of Gary's left. We got a new pro SEC chairman in. Now let's see what's going to happen. Obviously, it's all positive. Now, moving on to the next news, which is Ripple. So on the topic of Ripple executives on why, also the topic was on XRP, on why, thanks Miles, no problem, Stormy, anytime, on why 2025 could redefine crypto. Now, this is a perspective coming in from Ripple's executive on why 2025 could redefine, this year in other words, could redefine crypto. Cassie, Ripple's managing director for the UK and Europe, has forecasted a significant leap forward for the cryptocurrency industry in 2025, driven by institutional adoption and advancements in digital asset custody. Her insights are timely, essentially, as Ripple's XRP navigates the evolving landscape of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency regulations. Ripple's strategic essential moves in 2024 have set a strong foundation for this essential predicted growth. The acquisition of Metaco, a Swiss digital essentially asset custody firm for $250 million, signifies Ripple's commitment to expanding its influence in the custody sector. This move not only positions Ripple to compete essentially with giants like Coinbase and Fireblocks, but also aligns with the burgeoning demand of secure digital asset and managements. The total crypto asset under custody are essentially projected to grow significantly, reaching approximately $3.74 trillion by 2032. This growth reflects the rapid expansions of the digital asset custody market, which is expected to essentially achieve a compound of annual growth of 23.65%. Cassie highlights that 2025, this year, will be a year where institutions can no longer afford to remain on the sidelines. This year will be the year, according to Ripple's managing director, that institutions can no longer afford to sit on the sidelines, but must actively engage with blockchain technology beyond their mere pilot projects. She emphasizes the importance of collaborations with experts to scale tokenizations and develop sustainable use cases. The trend of institutional adoption essentially was notably advanced by entities like BlackRock and Societe Generale Groups in 2024, which experimented with tokenizing and money market funds and issuing a euro-dominated stablecoin on Ripple's XRP ledger. Moreover, Ripple's collaborations extended beyond essential acquisitions. Their partnerships with IBM to provide custody services for Gravity, BBVA's crypto asset trading platform in Turkey, for example, which serves over 14,000 users, exemplifies how Ripple is leveraging Streak Alliance to penetrate new markets and enhance its service offerings. The legal and regulatory landscape has also been more favorable for Ripple recently. After the years of navigating challenges from the SEC's lawsuit, 2024 brought significant legal victories that now have essentially allowed Ripple to ramp up its operations in the US. This turnaround has enabled a hiring spree in terms of Ripple's presence and activities in one of the world's largest markets of financial technologies, the US. Cassie's vision for 2025 includes a landscape where digital asset custody isn't just a supplementary service, but a necessity for competitive banking and financial institutions. She predicts that early adapters who invest into essentially in partnerships and specialized expertise will not only capture market share, but also essentially build trust in maturing sectors. This perspective is crucial as the cryptocurrency market seeks to integrate more seamlessly with traditional financial systems, offering both stability and innovation. In essence, Ripple's strategic maneuvers, bolstered by a clear regulatory path and institutional interest, position it at the forefront of this year's cryptocurrency boom. The focus will be scaling existing technologies, fostering collaborations, and ensuring the infrastructure for digital assets is robust, secure, and capable of essentially handling the expected influx of institutional and retail money into the crypto space. This approach, as Cassie suggests, will be pivotal in transforming how financial transactions and asset managers are conducted globally. So, according to Cassie, the managing director of Ripple for the United Kingdom and for essentially for Europe, stating that this year is all going to be about institutional adoption and that Ripple has essentially got their legal victories from the SEC. Now they got a bigger one because of the chairman of the SEC went away, and that no institution can afford to sit on the sidelines any longer, because they really can't, because we're going into regulations, deep regulations this year. So those are essentially not a perspective from another CEO or so on and so on. This is from Ripple's own managing director. That this year is all about institutional adoption. It's about regulations, institutional adoption, and that Ripple is going to be having a lot of victories this year. On that topic, we have also reached the endings of tonight's live. All good things must come to an end, which they have now, by the way. Honestly, what an incredible live this was. Honestly, big day today, without a doubt. Trump taking his seat as the president of the United States. Incredible, absolutely incredible. And we're finally going to get many things we wanted inside the crypto space. One of them being regulations. One of them essentially being regulations, SEC Chairman Gary Gensler out, CFTC Chairman out, FDIC Chairman out, Trump in. Yeah. The game has just started. Easiest way to say it. The game has just started now. And yeah, on that topic, we have reached the endings of tonight's live as well. Yeah. If you're watching this for the first time ever, this was the CMF Live. It stands for Crypto Mouse Family. My name is Mouse. I go by the persona of Crypto Mouse. And on this live, I talk about the most recent news that's happening around the world in terms of cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, AI, and politics and regulations. Vital information for you to know about regarding the world completely transforming into a digital space. You can tune into this live every single night, Monday to Friday, 11:25 p.m. UK time. So it's the same time you're watching right now. You can tune in every single night, 11:25 p.m. UK time. And yep, you can pretty much tune in every single night, Monday to Friday, 11:25 p.m. UK time. So if something just happens in the comment section for a second. But yeah. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, share, retweet this live, and tune in tomorrow, same timing as usual. Sorry. This happened for a second. Good night, Miles and CMF. Thank you for a great live and all the news. JPC tomorrow, but at the same time as usual as well. Thanks, Legend. Night and day, CMF. Let's go. Shelly, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Shelly. Night, Miles and CMF. Pablo, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Great news from Ripple. Let's go. JPC tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. Great live, Miles. Take care. All. Ray, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Please, if you can, send me the AI links, brother. Yes, I will definitely. Thanks, Miles, for another great live. Adi, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. No problem. Thank you, Miles and CMF. Mike, see you tomorrow, but at the same time as usual as well. Thanks, Miles. Take care, everyone. Ronnie, see you tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. Thanks for another amazing live. Great things to come. Camel, let's go. Facts. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Thanks for a great live, brother Miles. Good night, CMF. Comatose. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Good night, Miles and CMF. As always, another great show. Phrase. Let's go. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Thank you for sharing information, Miles, and have a great night. All. Let's go, Lena. Lena, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Please check your DMs when you're less busy. Yes, I definitely will, Lena. LJ, night, Miles. Let's go. See you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Thanks, Miles, for all the news. Good night, CMF. See you tomorrow. Orphan, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual. Tier Bear, hi, how you doing? Amazing day in America, amazing day for crypto, an amazing live from Miles. Thanks, Miles. See you tomorrow, same time. Autistic, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. Good night, Miles. Funky brother, see you tomorrow, sometimes as usual as well. I will be seeing everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. If you already haven't, by the way, like, comment, share, retweet, subscribe, follow, everything, and essentially like each other's comments as well on X. But I will be seeing everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. And the games have officially started now with Trump taking office for the crypto space. I'll be seeing everybody tomorrow, same time as you're an American in the UK. No, I'm not an American in the UK. I just live in the UK, but I'm not an American now. Originally, I'm Persian. I'm Persian, but London. Live in London. I just know a lot about American politics and American regulations and everything. I know a lot about every regulation from any jurisdiction, pretty much around the world. I'll be seeing everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual. And tune in Terror if you want. Tune in tomorrow as well. Tune in Monday to Friday, 11:25 p.m. UK time. Subscribe if you already haven't. I'll be seeing everybody tomorrow, same timing as usual, 11:25 p.m. UK time onwards. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF, see you all tomorrow, same time as usual. Like, comment, share, retweet. See you everybody tomorrow, same time as usual.